Hello everyone, George here, and as you can see, we are back on F1 Clash as always. Uh, Today was supposed to be the qualifying round video for the Alpine F1 Team Series, but unfortunately, the moment I started the Grand Prix event, I got a disconnection because of server issues and decided to switch back to a Series 9 video instead. So for this one, I'm gonna be using this setup right here. All of these parts are from Series 8 and below. As for my drivers, Tsunoda is gonna be the main driver, and we're gonna pair him with Guan Yu Zhou at Common Rarity from Series 1. And yeah, it was quite unfortunate that we got a disconnection, but yeah, we'll qualify tomorrow. That's not a problem. So let's just play a couple of races here. Hopefully we get Spa during this video, because it seems like a lot of you guys have been having problems with races around Spa. We're gonna be discussing as well strategies for the remaining of the races after playing our second race. Luckily for us here, we did get Belgium as our first race. Tsunoda is gonna get a decent qualifying session, of course, and this is the power of using weak driver, strong driver strategy. So as you can see, P14 for Tsunoda, P24 for Guan Yu Zhou. So just cruise with your driver in front. We're gonna be going for a one-stop strategy with Tsunoda. We're gonna go for a two-stop strategy with Guan Yu Zhou. And from here, you do know that unless we get a crash, then this is gonna be a win 100%. And one more thing that you definitely need to know is that when you are matched against, like when the game finds a rival for you, 90% of the time, if you and the rival have the exact same team score, then this is, as I said, 90% of the time, this is an AI that you're racing. Because most of the time when you race a real player, there is gonna be a difference in team score. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative difference for you, but only then you are gonna face a real player. Another thing, for Spa, it is a lot different between duels and Grand Prix events. In Grand Prix events, you can't go and use this strategy, weak driver, strong driver, but instead you have to go with your full potential. Use your strongest drivers and use your best setup just to get at least, of course, you're not gonna get a decent qualifying session in champion tier, but for me, a decent qualifying session is gonna be P20 and P22, and only because I'm not starting at the back of the grid anymore. So this is a good thing, especially that in Grand Prix events I'm using Gasly at level 4, and he's quite good even without the 10% buff on his stats. So we're gonna be pitting with Joe at the end of this current lap. We're gonna keep cruising with Tsunoda. He's currently up in P9, and we're gonna pit him in a moment. I think I'm gonna pit without service with Tsunoda. This is a first actually here. Guan Yu Zhou got overtaken at the exit of the pit lane, which is something you never see every day. The main strategy starting Series 7, let's say, is gonna be weak driver, strong driver. You can go for a fast pit stop time setup. You can go for a strong setup, mixed setup. It doesn't matter, but just make sure that you use your strongest driver and your weakest driver, which is gonna trick the algorithm of the game, and it is gonna match you 100% against a rival with the same team score, but with two medium drivers, let's say. For example, here I'm facing Alex Albon, I believe, and I'm not sure if the other driver is Latifi, but both of those drivers are medium epic drivers, and my strongest driver, which is Tsunoda, is stronger than both of them, which is gonna help him qualify way ahead of the rival, but at the same time we have the same team score, which is, I know it is crazy. I know sometimes it feels like unfair, but this is how the game is working these days, and you just have to take advantage of some weaknesses to be able to like win races, score points, get trophies. It doesn't matter, get coins. And one thing that you do definitely need to pay attention for, if you are someone who is struggling in junior tier to get placements in the finals, and you don't have a lot of boosts, well, just go ahead and save every boost you get. There is a couple of like 3 videos that you can watch daily in the store that gives you some boosts. I know it is not a lot, but at least it is better than going into the finals without any boosts. Because trust me, even self-control sometimes can be the difference between, let's say, scoring 370 points and scoring 350 points. And these days, even if you score, I have a good friend who did score 369 points in the finals in junior tier, and he finished in like 68th, maybe 69th. I'm not really sure, I cannot recall, but yeah, save your boosts, just like play casually, build a strategy. Spa, I know that Spa is one of the worst tracks this year. Overtaking is basically impossible, and you just have to rely on pure strategy to win. So it is gonna be P11 for Tsunoda, P23 for Guan Yu Zhou, and we move on to another race. Next up, we have Zandvoort. Unfortunately, I had to forfeit like 2 races because for some reason I only got Spa in the first 2-3 attempts, and now we have Zandvoort. We're getting a decent qualifying session, of course, with Tsunoda, but this time we are facing epic George Russell, and you can see the difference. Even a Series 8 Yuki Tsunoda is getting better qualifying sessions than Series 12 epic Russell. We're going for a one-stop strategy, but you can see that in a minute and a half we're having rain in this race. So I'm gonna be switching my strategy here for a 2-stop strategy with both of my drivers. I might go for 2 laps only with Guan Yu Zhou, 3 laps with Tsunoda, just to avoid stacking a little bit. But yeah, we are looking strong again. You just have to try this loadout, weak driver, strong driver. I've been talking about it a lot in these past few months. It is basically the only strategy I am currently using for duels. I believe I am halfway through Series 11. I should be unlocking Series 12 soon. All you need to do is just cruise, and it doesn't matter if you lose like 1 position or 2 with the driver in front, but you will always have the upper hand. For some reason, you can just see how the game is lagging at the moment. As I said, there is some problems with the servers, but the game is still playable. You can like go through some races. It is quite unfortunate that we got a disconnection, as I said, in our Grand Prix event, but it is completely fine. We are pitting with Joe at the end of this current lap. We're gonna be boosting for 2 laps. After that, pit with service and cruise for the final 3 laps. I'm gonna be pitting with Tsunoda, basically going for the 3-2-2. One thing that you do definitely need to pay attention to is that there is no fixed strategy for every single race. For example, here, if it was a dry race, I was gonna go for 4-3, conserve 3 laps, boost the fourth, pit with service, and from there boost to finish. But because of the rain, I switched strategy just like that. I could have gone for 3-4, 3 laps on mediums, pit with service for a new set of wets, and from there go to finish. But you have to pick the best strategy for you so that you can be able to score the maximum amount of points available for you. I know it is a 100% win, but you always have to keep thinking of that small percentage that you will get a crash and lose the race. And this is why you have to keep pushing with both of your drivers. We're pitting now with Joe for a new set of wet tires with service this time. For some reason, Vettel, who is on the hard compound, just overtook us, and even though that we are on the wet tire, but it is completely fine. I'm gonna be pitting with Tsunoda at the end of this current lap, and the only reason I went for a 2-stop strategy is because I need, and I do have the capacity to boost to the end of the race. So go for 3 laps, boost 2, 3-2-2, which is the normal strategy for tracks that have 7 laps. And 3-2-2, conserve 3, boost 2, pit with service, and boost the final 2 laps. And from there you can maximize the potential of the car, you can maximize the potential of your driver. Alright, luckily for us, Ricardo here did get a spin around turn 1. For the remaining races, by the way, in these series, you have Mexico, which is basically a 1-stop strategy. You can go for 4-4 with the driver in front, who is Tsunoda in this case. You can go for a 1-stop as well with Guan Yu Zhou, 4-4 with Tsunoda, 5-3 with Guan Yu Zhou, because Mexico is a very small track, and if you go for a 2-stop strategy with the driver in the back, then you are gonna get lapped 100%. As for the other tracks, we do have Monza. Around Monza, go for a 1-stop strategy, 4-4 with Tsunoda or whatever driver that is in front, and go for a 2-stop strategy with the driver in the back, and you should be completely fine around there. We are currently in our final lap, by the way. Tsunoda is gonna finish in P12, Guan Yu Zhou is in P23. The final race in this series is gonna be Silverstone. Around Silverstone, just go for a 1-stop strategy with the driver in front, 4-3 and 3-2-2 with the driver in the back, and from there you should be completely fine. 1-stop strategy for the driver in front around Silverstone is gonna give you the upper hand on the race. Always try to go for that extra lap, just like the AIs do in the high series, and from there you can get a lot of positions. Just always go for the undercut or the overcut. Try to go to pit when all the AI cars are going for that extra lap. Avoid going inside the pit lane at the same time with the AI cars, because basically you're not gonna gain anything, and you will be surprised by how many positions you might lose inside the pit lane if you get stuck a little bit. So this is it. Undercut, overcut, weak driver, strong driver, and from there's no, the moment you reach series 8 or series 9, everything should be okay for you for the remaining of the year. By this time you should have all the experience, you should have memorized all the tracks, you should be able to build strategies, to switch strategies. Always have in mind multiple strategies which you can use. There it is, race 1 around Silverstone, disconnection. So this is gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for the qualies of the Alpine F1 Team Series event. Until then, stay safe, take care, and peace.